Tom and Jerry was one of my favourite cartoons growing up, and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is unquestionably one of the most fun and thrilling films and nostalgic films ever. So when I discovered Tom and Jerry, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I knew I had to give it a go and see what it was like, and honestly, I thought it was great fun. It only has a 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is not fantastic. However, I thought it was a pretty enjoyable ride. It is a film that I enjoyed for the nostalgia, for the thrill and excitement of being able to spot all the recognisable moments from Willy Wonka, because there are quite a lot of scenes that you will recognise if you are a fan of the film. I don't know if this would be interesting if you're not familiar with the film. This was directed by Brandt and written by Grillo, and starring the usual fabulous voice cast for Tom and Jerry, and released in 2017 with an overall rating of Universal. And as I'm sure you're aware by now, this revisits Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but incorporates Tom and Jerry and a few other notable characters into the story. It is obviously adapted from the Roald Dahl story, but it's very much taken from the Gene Wilder film. The Oompa Loompas look basically the same, but animated. Charlie Bucket looks very similar, again, but animated. There are a lot of scenes, the Chocolate River, things that you will really recognise. And it's quite exciting to see them in animation form. That's something that I found to be quite thrilling. You know, we have the golden geese and the costumes that everybody's wearing, or I guess the illustrated costumes, look very similar to, you know, Veruca Salt's got the red dress and things. Everything here is very recognisable. So if you're a fan of the film and you've seen it many times, it is just like somebody's turned it into an animation and maybe squished the runtime down. So it's a really great fun way to relive the story with a fresh perspective, I guess. And obviously incorporating Tom and Jerry. I'm not, like, if they hadn't been in this and it had just been an animated version of Willy Wonka, I would have liked it just as much. But they just add a nice little touch because I love the nostalgia of Tom and Jerry. We have some brilliant characters in here. Obviously Willy Wonka and Grandpa Joe, Charlie Bucket, you know, the TVs and the Gloops and the Beauregards and the Salts. And we also have Tuffy, a Tom and Jerry favourite, who is actually an Oompa Loompa in this, which is absolutely adorable. The animation quality is really good. The narrative's great. It really does incorporate all of the things that I loved from Willy Wonka, but does it in under an hour and a half without really losing any of the magic. Would I recommend it if you haven't seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Yes, if you're a fan of Tom and Jerry, but certainly it's not a family film. If you've never seen Tom and Jerry and you've never seen Willy Wonka, I don't think you'll get any enjoyment from this. Well, maybe you will, but I would say it's aimed at one of two. If you do have fond, nostalgic feelings for either, though, then I think you will really enjoy it. It's obviously a really easy watch. It requires little concentration, and it's just good fun. So if you want to watch a film, but you haven't really got the energy to pay attention to anything in depth, this is a really lovely one to put on. It's warm, it's fuzzy, it's sweet. I really enjoyed it. I do like Tom and Jerry specials, and this one's probably my favourite.